Hello, I'm Briar. I use they, them, and he, him pronouns. I'm an artist and webcomic creator, and happy Pride, y'all. I thought, what better way to celebrate Pride and introduce myself than to talk about my childhood boys' love obsession and how that obsession might have something to do with me being trans and gay. And maybe roasting my art from high school a little bit. Little baby Briar was still learning and honestly was a lot better off than I am now, so who's the real loser here? In the background, you'll see me working on my redraw/redesign of my BL OCs, and I'll show you in a little bit what they looked like when I made them in high school. Alright, so let's talk about BL, or boys love. It's a genre of art or comics, books, fan art, whatever, that focuses on love between two guys, obviously. A lot of the time it gets pretty explicit, but not always. I stumbled across BL comics when I was a wee bab, and my curiosity was piqued immediately. I started writing BL fanfics with characters from shows and movies I was into, or even real life bands, which I'm not gonna get into that. At this point in my life, I was under the assumption that I was a cis girl and very straight. I met someone in high school that was also under the same assumptions and was also into BL, so naturally we started writing a BL story together and drawing our OCs. We named the story Evil Innocence, so if you guessed we were emo as fuck, you were right. The first few chapters of this story are still up on my old, dusty DeviantArt page, but it is so cringy. And the art I made for it, ooh man. Before I rediscovered my high school BL story, I read a comment on Facebook or somewhere where someone asked, "Why are straight girls so into BL anyway?" Now, I'm not going to get into whether or not gay-male relationships are fetishized by straight cis girls, because my take on that might be a little spicy. But that comment I read made me start thinking about who I am now versus who I was back when I was making BL art in high school. I came to the realization that the reason I was so into BL when I thought I was straight and cis was actually because I wasn't cis and I definitely wasn't straight. That's not to say that this is true about every girl that's into BL, but for me personally, it was super eye-opening. And during the Great Calamity, I've been able to explore my masculinity and my queer identity more and become more comfortable with who I am gender-wise. And when I consider all the BL I was making and consuming, I realized that the person that I am now is kind of who I always was. I came out as bisexual my freshman year of high school, but I was still too worried about needing to be straight to get into relationships with other girls. Being transmasculine was not something that I knew was even a possibility in high school. I don't think I even knew that trans people existed until I was well into my freshman year of college. But to see the little signs of my transness and gayness in the art and writing I was making is really pretty heartwarming for me. It makes me feel more confident in myself and my various identities, knowing that this was really who I am all along. And I guess this is all to say that if you feel unsure of yourself or worry if you're gay enough or trans enough to be part of the LGBTQI plus spectrum, let me tell you that you are. We all learn and come out at our own pace, and sometimes it just takes years of being a BL fan and a few choice encounters with queer people to realize you are definitely not cis or straight. Alright. So I'll talk a little bit about these characters I'm drawing here. The one on the left is Ricky. He's the main character in our story, Evil Innocence. He had a very traumatic childhood, and now he sometimes blacks out if he thinks he's in danger. And while he's in that state, he has an alter ego that can control orbs of electricity and kill people. Also, why did I give him a gun? And someone please put a shirt on this child, oh my god. The guy next to Ricky is Toby. He's Ricky's love interest. He's supposed to be some cool guy that thinks he's hot shit or something. Honestly, reading the few chapters I have up on DeviantArt didn't give me a good sense of who his character was besides being an angsty teenager. The story follows Ricky, who is homeless and constantly getting in trouble. He meets Toby when Toby is in the middle of killing someone. Ricky ends up blacking out and then waking up in Toby's apartment, and it's just shenanigans after that. There's a bunch of world building that my friend came up with and I just kind of threw in there. Like, the story is taking place in some weird version of Europe where countries starting to merge with each other, and somehow one of the biggest threats in the story is winged people. I don't know. I wish I could find the rest of the story, but I'm not even sure if I ever finished it. Okay, y'all. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate the shit out of you. I'm going to be talking more about gay shit, art, and webcomics in my upcoming videos, so if all that sounds good to you, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at _____Briar. That's 4 underscores. Join my Patreon if you are so inclined. Get some rest, make smart choices. XOXO Briar.